Thomas here with Much Props. Going to give you another how-to video. Last week we made a Majora's Menpo type mask, just kind of cutting it off and changing the shape of it a little bit. And I said I thought this could lend way to some other cool designs, so I thought why not jump right into it and start off this week's build with me modifying this to make something completely different. So today I am going to make a SpiderMan 2099 mask. Let's get to building. So this part of the video is the same as the Majora's Mask. You cut out the template, trace it onto the foam. I'm using 6mm EVA here, and then you cut it out. If you would like to see a more in-depth video showing how I design my templates, let me know in the comments below and I'll make a video just on templating. I've had a lot of people ask me about it recently. Assembly time. I started by putting a coat of contact cement on all the edges to glue everything together. Once it's no longer wet, it's ready to tack on. If I missed a part or have areas that are being stubborn, I keep super glue handy to close up the gaps. Start by closing up the darts, then using the registration marks, attach the pieces to each other. This is known as shelf or drawer liner. It's a padded foam that you put down to protect your cabinets or your dishware. I got mine from the dollar store, so it is relatively cheap. I've used this in the past to spray over to give a faux carbon fiber texture, but I thought why not glue it directly onto the foam to give it an actual texture instead of an implied one. So cover the mask with contact cement and the back of the padding as well, and then simply tack it down from the middle, working out. Once I trimmed off the excess, I made sure everything was pulled tight and laying flat. Areas like the nose and under the chin, I cut a little wedge off and did my best to line the edges together. Then I took some 4mm EVA and cut out the face overlay pieces. I have already put contact cement on the shelf padding and the back of the overlay. I lay down one side and position it where I like it. Then I do my best to mimic the position on the other side. To add more detail to my overlays, I take my wood burner with a pointy tip and burn in some fake stitch recesses. I burn it going one direction, then come back to do the other side of the stitch. Wear a respirator and work in a well-ventilated area while doing this. The fumes are not pleasant and they are not safe to breathe in. Two coats of Plasti Dip. The paint job for this is going to be very clean, so I'm using some Plat-Effects acrylic paint in a metallic blue and a regular red. The metallic red kind of looked a little too pink for my liking. With the paint, I am taking a flat brush and dragging over the raised edges of the mask. And of course, to strap it on, I'm using some 1-inch elastic banding with some foam to sandwich it in. The foam over the top may be an overkill, but it makes it super sturdy. To measure how long a strip you need, you simply pull the elastic over your head, and where the mask will meet your banding is how long you cut. And we are finished. Here is the end result. Overall, fairly pleased with the way it turned out. It was relatively simple, just adding on that shelf liner, which who would have expected that'd be a cool thing to use, but I think it definitely lends way to that cool pattern and texture, and then just laying over that simple little overlay over the top of it and painting it, and it completely changes it from Majora's Mask to a half Spider-Man mask. So yeah, let me know if you want to see me continue to modify these templates that I have and come up with something new. The purpose of me doing this was to show you that even though I make it for one thing specific, you can definitely take that template and run with it. Do something completely different with it, and just use it as a base to start off of. That way you're not starting from scratch. But yeah, maybe you'll try and make one of these masks yourself and impress your friends with your ability to turn something into something different. Yeah. Maybe you'll get some.
Yay!
And inevitably, they're going to ask you, how'd you make that? You can give them one of these. Tell them, much props. I also angled the straps so it goes on the top of my head. Snugger fit. Peace out!